welcome to my studio and welcome to day 8, day 9. Welcome to day 9 of NaNoJouMo 2021. Today's prompt is autumn, and here, if you are in the United States, autumn here in Omaha, Nebraska is in full swing. If I look out my window, it's actually been really gloomy and cloudy the past couple of days, but the trees right outside my window are a beautiful color of red, and the ones behind that are yellow and greens, and there's browns, and the ground is just covered with leaves, and it is beautiful outside. It's getting pretty cold. It's getting pretty cold at night here. We're already dipping down in the 30s at night. So anyways, so today's prompt is autumn, and in my journal, the page that I have actually come to is this one here that is made out of paper sack. So this one's going to be kind of small. I do want to make something to slip in here, and I haven't decided if I want it to go with this page or with tomorrow's prompt, or maybe just not go with anything at all, just make it be something a little extra. But I do have this neat fun little pocket here that I'm kind of just trying to decide what I want to put in there, and I haven't figured it out yet. But I will be working on this page, which is a paper sack today, and I am going to do mixed media for today's page. I have pulled out my stash, a couple stencils. I have a couple leaf stencils here that I think I'm going to play around with and just kind of see where it goes from there. I stepped on, if you saw me jerk there, I stepped on my leg weird. I just had knee surgery, so I'm not totally great on my feet yet. Anyways, I am going to use my gesso to scrape through the stencil. I do not have any modeling paste. That's what I usually use. I'm out. I am basically homebound right now until I get clearance from my doctor to drive. So I'm going to use my gesso. It's old and it's very thick, and I can get the same effect with this as I could from modeling paste. If you don't have any modeling paste, something else that you can use, which I have used in the past for quite a while, and actually because it was just easy for me to get to, was spackling, like that you put on your walls to cover up holes in your walls and things like that. That is pretty much the same thing, and it works great if you can't get any modeling paste or texture paste, something like that from the art department. So I'm just going to use gesso. You could use gesso. Any thick paint would work perfect to go through your stencil. So I also think I'm going to put down a piece of book text, something like that. I was looking through my drawer. I ended up just grabbing an old paperback that I got from the half-price bookstore for $1. So I'm just gonna put down some pieces of book text. Some of it might show through in the end, some of it might not. I don't know. A lot of, with me and how I'm used to working with when I do mixed media, and it took me a little while to realize this, but I just kind of figured out that the act of gluing something down was a trigger for me in my head that said, okay, it's time to start getting creative. So a lot of times if I didn't feel like I wanted to be creative, or if I had time to be creative but I might not necessarily be in the mood, there are a lot of times, especially with having young children, that I would have time to be creative, but I just might not totally feel like I wanted to be creative, but I knew I needed to use that time that I had. So I just kind of got in the habit of doing these certain steps, and I realized after a while that I always kind of started my process the same way. And I did that so often that anytime that I did walk in the studio and I wanted to get working on something, if I started with those steps, then everything else just kind of started falling into place. And for me, with starting a mixed media page, gluing things down, it just kind of, it starts getting my mind into thinking, okay, we're going to start being creative. Let's start being open to what comes next, to what ideas are coming out, how I feel, what color of paint I might want to put down, things like that. It just kind of slows my brain down and puts it into creative mode. Just that brushing paint on, brushing glue on, things like that. So that's another reason why a lot of times I will start with a coat of gesso on a page in my journal, in my mixed media journal, even if I don't need to or don't have to. If it's already white, a lot of times I still will put down a coat of gesso, because just that act of brushing that on just kind of starts getting my mind into creative mode. So I am going to put down some book text. I don't know if I'll tear it up. I might cut it into pieces. I don't know. I could probably just put 2 sheets on there and it'd cover this up since it's not very big. So I'm going to start with that, and then I'll use the stencils with modeling paste, and then just start adding layers and layers of paint. For sure, I think I'll probably be going with just the yellow, orange, red kind of color scheme, and just kind of see what happens from there. So once again, I hope you're enjoying this, and I can't believe that we've already finished our first week and we are into the second, and I just really hope that you're enjoying this and that you are getting creative a little bit each day. If you get behind, don't worry about that. There's really no being behind. If it takes you a next month or so to do these prompts, just as long as you're using them and they're helping you be creative, then that is fantastic. So that's just kind of what this is all about. It's just inspiring you to be creative. So that being said, let's get going with this page.